Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
We've had your co-stars on the show, you know, Josh and Zach.
I know. I didn't catch Josh's, but I've seen Zach's. So, yeah.
You're talking about their clip on the show?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
So do you do your, you know, you guys have so much action. Just watching that clip, do you do all your own stunts?
I do. I do most of them, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. I get in a lot of accidents. Well, you know, a few. I've had my nose crunched by a lovely guest star of ours, and I've had a couple
You didn't break it, though, did you?
No, I thought I did.
But it's so painful, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I get a lot of bruises. I've had, actually the other week I kind of had a mild concussion because a trapdoor fell on my head, so that was fun.
Wow, you didn't black out or anything, did you?
No, I kind of, I mean, we were coming out of under the studio, so it was Adam came out first, and then Zach, and then me, and then next thing you know, this big wooden thing just came crashing down on my head, and I was the only one under the studio, so, and I don't really remember getting down on the maybe I fell. I'm not sure, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, that's scary. I mean, I guess that's the risk you take when you want to do your own stunts, but you really do. I know that feeling of wanting to, you know, try all the stuff and get in there yourself.
I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the show, like doing my own stuff.
And you grew up in Australia, like in the bush. I mean, you're kind of a tomboy anyway when you were a kid.
I am a tomboy. So, you know, coming here has been quite a learning lesson.
But how did you make that journey? Because you came here, didn't they see you, the producers of the show, Chuck, like see you on just a clip that was sent via the internet?
Yeah, I put down my audition back in Australia, and I recorded it. I mean, we shot it in the studio, but then it got sent over on a QuickTime file over the internet. And then when I landed,
so they called you and said, "We like you. Come out. We want to meet with you." And
not even that. I didn't know anything. I mean, I had just put it down and forgotten about it. And so then when I landed, we got the phone call the next day to say, "Oh, we've just seen your audition. We would love to see you." And by the end of the week, I had the gig on the show. So.
And did you come here with anybody?
No, I didn't have anybody. I was the loser with no friends and no family.
No, I don't mean it that way. But that's impressive. I mean, that's quite a journey to come out here because you're an only child, right? Mm-hmm. So your mom and dad were back in Australia.
Back in Australia, since have moved here.
Oh, there you are as a little girl. But wait, you guys, look at the next shot. They took one more picture of her while she was sitting there. Oh.
Yeah. I still pull that face when I'm miserable on set, when I'm over it. I want to go home.
Oh. So for your folks, did you just call them and say, now I've got this big-time TV show and I'm not coming home?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I was supposed to come home a couple of months later, and then it wasn't until a year later that I went back to visit.
And so mom and dad are here with you now. That's really nice.
Yeah.
And I know, even though you grew up in Australia kind of as a tomboy, I know you live in Hollywood Hills now, and I know that you can share with all of us that the spiders.
Oh, the spiders.
You guys, we have gigantic spiders here.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd think an Australian like me who has spent a lot of time in the bush, you know, would be used to spiders. I've had a lot of incidences with snakes, but spiders are not really my thing. And I came home once to this ginormous cobweb on my deck, and I thought, you know, I'll wonder what's going to come out at night, because they only come out at night. And it was this huge spider with one of those bulbous bottoms. And not, you know, the flat ones are okay, but the bulbous ones.
I know exactly what you're talking about, because I get them too.
Out. And so I remember it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was vacuuming at 2 o'clock in the morning because my parents were arriving.
Oh, you got to clean the whole house the night before, yeah.
And I hadn't got round to it. I was cleaning like mad, and I thought, oh, you know, I better shut my my doors so that the noise of the vacuum cleaner doesn't wake my neighbors. I'm so considerate. And and then there was another one. I saw another one of these bulbous spiders.
So you go to close the door, and these two spiders are there. You didn't use the vacuum.
No, I sucked up the one that was there at that moment. I sucked it up with the vacuum cleaner.
And it got stuck. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it was still alive the next day when I emptied the thing. But then...
Well, are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding you. I threw it into the street. I was mortified. And then the first one that I had noticed, I was so fed up with the spider infestation in my house that I went to the fridge. And because I have no life, I'm always on set, my fridge was full of rotten vegetables. So I proceeded to pull out each rotten vegetable one by one and throw it at this spider that was on my deck.
Was he catching him and eating it?
Oh, yeah. I was like, I threw a carrot at it, a celery, a leek, and then there was the bowl of lettuce that finally pegged it right in the center, and down it went. So, yeah.
You even do your own stunts at home.
Right.
Well, it was really nice to meet you, Yvonne. Thank you so much for coming and being on the show.
you.
And we all enjoy you on Chuck. It was a great show. So be sure to watch Yvonne if you haven't on Chuck every Monday night at 8 o'clock on NBC.